Hello and welcome, you're watching Western Armenian News and I'm Gasparian. Noah, coach visits Genocide Memorial. Zakharova, shocked by Armenian politicians ignoring the genocide. Artsakh's young musicians perform in Moscow. Berkri Waterfall, jam in van. Will Europe ignore Baku's ethnic cleansing? Armenian bread still sends Sasun's mountains. Naghash Hovnatanyan. Ayanis Fortress, forgotten Western Armenian treasure. The head coach of Noah football club, Sandro Parkovic, visited the Armenian Genocide Memorial and Museum. He shared that it was a deeply emotional experience filled with tragic human stories and the pain of an entire nation. The visit touched me deeply and reminded me how important memory, compassion and peace are, he wrote. Parkovic added that it's everyone's shared duty to build a brighter future for the next generations. I'm proud to live and work in Armenia and to represent Noah in such a strong and soulful country, he said. Russia's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova stated that throughout history, nations disappear when they betray what's truly sacred to them. She said she was shocked by how some Armenian politicians treat the memory of the Armenian genocide as a political issue that can be overlooked. Can you imagine? She said. For me, it was unbelievable to see how a story built on deep philosophy and truth suddenly becomes something that could be dismissed. Zakharova emphasized that some values are truly sacred because countless lives were sacrificed for them. In Moscow, young Armenian musicians from the project Born in Artsakh gave a concert at the Armenian Academy of Culture. They performed pieces by Tchaikovsky, Schubert, Rachmaninoff and Khachaturian, sharing Artsakh's voice and spirit with the audience. The program started in 2023 to help young musicians from Artsakh continue their studies after being displaced. Supporter Suzy Aryumyan said she always tries to help her people and believes that Artsakh will live through culture. The children's performance was warmly received by everyone present. In Western Armenia's Van region, the Berkri Waterfall looks amazing in autumn. The water falls about 20 meters down, surrounded by red and golden trees that make the place look magical. Many people, both locals and tourists, came to see and photograph it. But it's also important to remember that Berkri is part of historic Armenia. Even if today it's inside Turkey, it still carries the story of our ancestors and homeland. At the session of the Euronest Parliamentary Assembly in Yerevan, Armenian MP Artur Khachatryan spoke about the tense situation in the South Caucasus. Khachatryan accused Azerbaijan of continuing to occupy parts of Armenia's sovereign territory and trying to interfere in its internal affairs. He called on the international community not to ignore the ethnic cleansing and genocide committed against the people of Artsakh, who were forced to abandon their homes. Today, there isn't a single Armenian left in Artsakh, he said. Khachatryan urged world leaders to demand the release of Armenian prisoners held in Azerbaijan and to send a strong message that such inhuman actions will not be tolerated. In the Sasun mountains of Western Armenia, locals still keep alive the old Armenian traditions of baking bread in a tonit, a clay oven used for centuries. The most famous bread is lavash, but there are other types too, like tapa, a round, slightly thicker bread with a small hole in the center made quickly by hand. This type of bread was once common in Van, Mush, Karin and Ararat regions. Even today, families in Sasun bake it with love, filling the air with the unforgettable aroma of Armenian bread, a symbol of life, warmth and timeless heritage. Naghash Hovnatanyan was born in 1661 in Shorot village, Nakhichevan, and died there in 1722. He was a talented poet, painter and musician who worked in Armenia, Georgia and Persia. He painted churches and wrote songs and poems full of beauty and feelings. In Georgia, he worked for King Vakhtang VI, and his famous song, I Praise with a Joyful Heart, was dedicated to Georgian women. His name, Naghash, means painter, and his art remains a proud part of Armenian history. Archaeologists continue working in the Ayanis Fortress in Western Armenia's Van region. They have found pieces of ancient poetry, plates, cups, and jars from the time of King Rusa II. Ayanis is one of the most beautiful monuments of the Urartian period, but it's also part of Armenian cultural heritage. Today, Turkish authorities try to show it as Urartian or Turkish, but this creation belongs to our ancestors. Experts say all discoveries there must be protected internationally as part of Western Armenia's history. That's all for today's news from Western Armenia. For more details, please visit the website of Western Armenia. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more updates.